Today, we will pit two main characters from Nintendo, where both of their franchises started their journey in 1986, pushing the boundaries of what a conventional game is supposed to be like, and also introducing some of gaming's most iconic characters, and also most confusing name identity. This is Metroid vs Zelda. In the red corner, we have Samus from the Metroid franchise. She is 1/3 human, 1/3 Chozo, which is a group of super intelligent bird people, and also 1/3 Metroid, which are some floating jellyfish. Samus is the robot wearing her iconic orange suit, sporting gigantic shoulder pads, otherwise known as the Varia suit. But that all went down the drain with Metroid Fusion, where she now dons a blue suit instead. Her main weapon of choice are her beams from the arm cannon, but she has other powerful tools to work with as well, such as the screw attack and the shine spark. In the blue corner, we have Link from the Legend of Zelda franchise. The hero's iconic appearance is an elf-like boy who is clad in a green tunic with a pointy green hat, but that all went down the drain for a blue t-shirt and white pants in the latest two entries of the Zelda game, being the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Link may look like the same person in every game, but just about every iteration of him is a new person who possess some things in common. They all wield the Sword of Evil's Bane, the Master Sword, the Hylian Shield, and they are chosen by the goddesses, for they possess the spirit of the hero. With the introduction out of the way, we will now pit them in a battle against each other, but like all the previous episodes, it will not just be a battle of speed and power, but rather it will be a battle about their legacy and history, with the following battles including how proficient they are in saving their world, their mental psyche to tackle the task at hand, how many enemies they have fought, their success in vanquishing their arch nemesis, and finally, if they were to be in a battle against each other, who would win? Now let's start with round 1. How proficient are the heroes in saving their world? We will look into Samus because this is the Metroid channel after all, and so she will get the honors. Samus so far has 11 adventures total, 5 from the mainline games, 3 from Prime, and 3 spin-offs being Hunters, Federation Force, and Other M. In her first mission, Zero Mission, Samus successfully defeats the space pirates at Zebes, making them go into hiding until Super Metroid, where she defeats them once and for all. There was also the attempted return of the space pirates, albeit they are a secret experiment from the Galactic Federation in Metroid Other M, but Samus also put a stop to that plan. In Metroid Samus Returns, she annihilated all but one Metroid, and that Metroid becomes the most decisive key to saving the world, where impending destruction would have taken over the galaxy, being the X-Parasite from Metroid Fusion. If Samus hadn't left the last Metroid alive, she would have met her fate, but she did fail, in that she was put into a near-death state at the start of Metroid Fusion, and because of her inability to recognize the danger beforehand, she caused the whole BSL station to be taken over by the X-Parasite, killing all organisms and scientists on board. Eventually though, Samus was able to contain the X-Parasite by blowing up planet SR-388 in Metroid Fusion and planet ZDR in Metroid Dread. But how about the 3D adventures? Well, Samus managed to stop the impending destruction of Talon 4. She managed to defeat the primordial evil god known as Goria in Prime Hunters. She also managed to vanquish Dark Aether in Metroid Prime Echoes, but there was a little mishap in Metroid Prime Corruption, where Samus was knocked out cold by Dark Samus at Norian, which allowed Dark Samus to corrupt the other 3 bounty hunters and also corrupting multiple planets. That's one strike against Samus. The second strike comes from Metroid Prime Federation Force, when Samus managed to get brainwashed and controlled by the space pirate, making her the final obstacles to the Galactic Federation in that game. In total, Samus has failed 3 times, if we're including Fusion where she almost died. Now let's have a look at Link. Looking at the main games only in timeline order, Link in Skyward Sword successfully saved Skyloft and the ground below from demise and his sentient sword, Gurihim. Multiple games happen in between, but we eventually arrive to Ocarina of Time where the timeline gets split into 3. But in Ocarina of Time, Link failed to save Hyrule when he decided to pull the Master Sword, putting him into a 7-year slumber, allowing Ganondorf to take over the world before he was able to right the wrong, putting one strike against his name. Continuing with their child timeline, Majora's Mask is a direct sequel, and though Link fails many times, he technically didn't fail at all, because he went back in time to repeat the cycle, so he's in the clear for this one. In Twilight Princess, Link was able to defeat both Zant and Ganondorf, so this timeline is in the clear. Now let's look at the adult timeline. Because Link returned to the past, the child timeline, he was not there to save the world when the people of Hyrule needed him the most. This forced the goddesses to flood the lands of Hyrule to stop Ganondorf and his conquest, earning him a strike, but after that, it was smooth sail from there. Get it? Smooth sail. Wind Waker is about sailing the seas. Finally, let's look at the Fallen timeline, where Ganondorf defeats Link in Ocarina of Time, earning him a 3rd strike. This then leads to A Link to the Past, where Link fails to stop Aghanim, who is Ganon in disguise, to plunge the world into darkness, earning him a 4th strike. With that, Metroid easily won. But if we still have doubts, we can look further into the timeline, to Zelda Breath of the Wild, where Link once again failed. Over here, he was put to sleep for the next 100 years. So this settles it. With Link earning more than 3 strikes, this put Link over the threshold of mistakes, making Samus the victor. So this round goes to Samus. Time for round 2, their mental psyche to tackle the task at hand. Once again, we'll look at Samus first. Beneath all that shell, Samus is a bundle of emotions. She has shown a caring side in the Metroid manga. She has shown her weakness in Metroid Other M. She has shown her ability to reason in Metroid Fusion, and she has shown her wrath in Metroid Dread. And because Samus is able to have all these emotions, she too buckles when push comes to shove. And we've seen this 4 times. 2 times in the Metroid manga, once in Metroid Other M, and once in Metroid Dread. The first time she buckled was when Samus was about to be inducted to be part of the Space Pirate Commanders, but upon confronting Ridley, who taunted her that he consumed her parents, she completely lost her will to live, to the point she was asking someone to kill her to end her misery. The second time was in her mission to defeat Mother Brain at the very end of the manga. She lost hope at one point, questioning herself until she stumbled upon a Chozo statue, and there, she saw Grey Voice's ghost, who then granted her the barrier suit. Then the next scene, the infamous scene in Metroid Other M. Ridley clone's appearance, which put Samus into such a state of shock that it rendered her unable to move momentarily. That's 3 in total so far, but there's a 4th one. Finally, she lost control of her emotions for the 4th time, in Metroid Dread, on her final showdown with Ravenbeak. Granted, it was cool that she did the suck and cuck on Ravenbeak's face, but she lost to blind rage at that moment, and so that counts too. All of this makes a total of 4 times where Samus failed to control her emotions. Now to Link. I mean, do we really have to discuss Link? He is the boy in every era, chosen by the spirit of the hero. He who possessed the Triforce of Courage, granting him an immovable soul, who will rise up and face any danger. Even at times when he was about to lose himself to become a shadow beast, the Triforce of Courage prevails and transforms him into a wolf instead. He even found his dead uncle in a castle, and he continued forward as if nothing happened. The closest time I can say that Link has a weak psyche is when he comes face to face with a Redead or a Gibdo. But honestly, who wouldn't? So with this is an easy victory that goes to Link. We are now 1 for 1, but the next round is how many enemies they have fought. What do I mean by that? This means how good the heroes are in fighting the forces of evil, regardless of who they are up against. Samus in her adventures have defeated many evil, including Mother Brain and her space pirate band, the Metroids, Metroid Prime, and by extension, Dark Samus, Gorilla, the X-Parasite, the corrupted side of the Galactic Federation, otherwise known as the Ringleaders, and the Morkan tribe. But compared to Link's adversary, these enemies seem so little. Link has fought with Ganondorf, and by extension, Ganon. He's also fought Dark Link, Aghanim, who appears to be in some whale's dream, Onox and Varan from the Oracle games, Majora, Vati, Bellum, Maladus, Zant, Yuga, and Demise. While Samus' line of enemies may look impressive, Link throughout the ages have fought more enemies than Samus in her whole adventure. Also, 2 of Samus' enemies are just animals acting on instincts to consume, survive, and reproduce. So with that, it is no-brainer that this point goes to Link. Round 4, and here is the spicy one. The hero's success in vanquishing their arch-nemesis. For Samus, her arch-nemesis is Ridley. Ridley escapes death multiple times, thus earning him the nickname, the Cunning God of Death. But even a cat only have 9 lives, for Ridley have met his true end at Super Metroid, marking the end of the original Ridley once and for all. A clone of him does appear in Other M, and then an X-Parasite does consume the carcass of the clone in Fusion, but they are not the original Ridley. Ridley is canonically dead, so far, as the latest entry goes, for the Metroid franchise. As for Link's arch-nemesis, Ganondorf, this gets a bit messy because of the 3 timelines, but in the failed hero timeline, the original Zelda game, Ganon is defeated once and for all, ending the cycle between Zelda's bloodline, the boy with the spirit of the hero, and the one who inherited Demise's hatred. Kinda poetic that the first Zelda game is the last appearance of Ganon in the timeline. Looking at another timeline, the adult timeline. At the end of Wind Waker, Ganondorf was struck in the head by the Master Sword, and with the wish of the Triforce, Ganondorf was sealed under the sea with the rest of Hyrule. Though he is not dead, he is bound into an eternal prison under the sea. In the final timeline, the child timeline, Ganon is still active, with his latest defeat being in Four Swords Adventure, waiting to be reincarnated once more. Now we don't know the exact placement of where Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is, but if the theory where Breath of the Wild is the convergence of all three timelines back into one, then this means that, technically, all the Ganons still have their soul in the world, in all timeline. But because we don't know the exact placement, let's just consider it as part of the child timeline for now. In the end, this victory still goes to Samus, because she was able to kill Ridley and stop him from coming back from the dead. And with that, we are now in the final round. We are 2 for 2, so this round decides it all. Samus vs Link, 1-on-1, mano a mano. Who would win? In order to determine who will very likely to win, we must look at the combatants' gears and weapons. First, let's have a look at Samus' arsenals. Samus throughout her adventures have gained many powerful alien technologies that make her a formidable opponent to even the biggest and baddest aliens out there. We will look at the most powerful and useful upgrades Samus gains in certain games, and then amalgamate them into the perfect Samus. Let's start from the very beginning. In Metroid Zero Mission, Samus gains the almighty fully powered suit, which in turn grants Samus the gravity suit, which significantly boosts her protective capabilities, while also allowing free movement even in the vacuum of space. She also gains the space jump, which gives her infinite aerial movement, and when combined with the screw attack, she becomes an invincible wrecking ball. In the same game, she is also able to obtain the power bomb, an explosive so powerful that it can clean up most life within a certain radius. In Super Metroid, Samus was given a second chance at life when the baby rescued her. This miracle also gave Samus the most destructive power from the Chozo repository. This is the Hyper Beam. It contains so much power that it can push Crocomile into the pits in one shot, a boss who normally requires a large amount of attacks to push him off the edge. And then finally in Metroid Dread, Samus unlocks the Metroid DNA within her, turning her into the monster that is able to siphon the life force out of anything she touches. After 33 years, the title, Metroid is finally the main character. Now that we've determined Samus' best gears, it's time to look into Link's items. In the first Zelda game, the best item by far is the clock, which freezes everything on screen, allowing Link to freely mangle whoever's body is on screen. Now moving on to A Link to the Past, the medallions are easily the best items at the cost of high mana, but wait a minute, these Links aren't the same people, so therefore, it's not a matter of finding what's the best items for Link to take into battle against Samus. It's going to be a free-for-all match first between all Links to determine who's the strongest to take on Samus, who has god-level powers. With this new revelation, we now must find the strongest Link, who might be able to defeat Samus, the Planet Destroyer. Let's look at NES Link vs A Link to the Past Link. While the clock is an amazing item, it drops from an enemy and will instantly activate upon touching. There are no mobs to give NES Link that opportunity to gain the upper hand versus the hero of the past. The hero of the past is the victor. We will now move forward to the next Link, who is the hero of time, from Ocarina of Time. The medallions are powerful from the hero of the past, but the hero of time have something similar, being Din's fire. The hero of time also have the almighty light arrows, allowing him to snipe the hero of the past from a distance away. Compared to the hero of the past, who only have access to normal arrows, and that they can only travel one grid away. The victory goes to the hero of time. The next challenger is the hero of the wind, from Wind Waker. The hero of the wind is the first hero to gain full immunity with the magic armor, but that doesn't mean he can win. The hero of the wind unfortunately do not boast any impressive items other than the magic armor, which makes him unable to do much to the hero of time, so the victor easily goes to the hero of time as well. How about the hero of Twilight? The hero of Twilight also have access to the magic armor that allows him to be invincible as long as he's got the money, but unlike the hero of the wind, the hero of Twilight also have a very powerful weapon this time around, being the ball and chain, allowing him to completely decimate anything in his path at the cost of his speed. Din's fire can only be spammed so many times before the hero of time runs out. But the hero of time isn't only limited to the items he got from Ocarina of Time. He also journeyed into Termina, where he was able to collect a set of masks that imbue him with the power of the passed away souls. There is one particular mask that makes the final boss, Majora, into child's play, almost like as if you're bullying Majora for his lunch money, and that is the Fierce Deity mask. With this mask, the hero of time gets possessed by the god of wrath. No matter how deep the pockets are on the hero of Twilight, which isn't much, only 1000 rupees max, he would not be able to withstand the power of the fierce deity. The winner is still the hero of Time. Next up, the hero of the Sky. Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to do much to the hero of Time, so let's just move on to the final hero, the hero of the Wild. With the combination of things that he can do with the Sheikah Slate, such as the stasis ability and the infinite amount of food he can carry, he could very well fare against the hero of Time, but it's only a matter of time before he too is defeated. So the hero of the Wild needs something just as dangerous, and this is where the one-hit obliterator comes in. The hero of the Wild can use this item where he would literally one-shot anything and everything with this item alone, so no matter how much stamina and tenacity the fierce deity have, the one-hit obliterator can kill the fierce deity in one shot. But so too will the hero of the Wild be killed in one hit. Another inherent weakness of the one-hit obliterator, he needs to get close and personal to do any damage. The fierce deity, however, can sit back and spam sword beams, which is what Samus will do as well. So clearly, the hero of the Wild is not suited to fight Samus. This leaves the hero of Time, the only one. So who would win? Samus with her godlike powers, or Link, the hero of Time who can be possessed by a god? It would be very close, but Samus would win out at the end ultimately. The fierce deity is strong and tenacious, but he isn't invincible. A good hyper beam to his face would do quick work on him. The second option Samus can opt for is to Shine Spark or Screw Attack the fierce deity into oblivion, as both those moves make Samus completely invulnerable. And so that's it. The victor has been decided. Samus is the winner against the hero of Time, and so this is all 5 rounds, with the majority going to Link from The Legend of Zelda. Excuse me? Was that correct? Why, yes it is. While the hero of Time may be the strongest Link with the items he can collect from the game, there is one Link who obtained something even greater. This comes back to the hero of the past. He was able to obtain all 3 Triforce, which grants him any wish. With just one wish, the hero of the past can wish Samus away, never giving Samus a single chance to fight back. If it's a fair-ish direct one-on-one fight, Samus would beat any Link easily, but in a fight where anything goes, as long as one side is no longer able to fight, the hero of the past can simply make a wish. And with that, this is the end of this Not Smash Bros battle. Do you think that's the conclusion, or do you think I've missed something and could shed a light on a different angle? Post below to let me know. But for now, I'm gonna go play some more Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, so bye for now.